One of our members suggested that tonight we must discuss about 10 perfections or 10 Paramitas. He said, still it is not very clear the significance or the meanings of these 10 perfections practiced by the Buddha in order to gain his enlightenment. 10 perfections. Pali word is paramita. Paramita means the method for us to practice in order to cross the great oceans of samsara or wheel of existence to reach the other shore for our safety, to avoid all our problems and sufferings and miseries and unhappiness, unsatisfactoriness in our life. That is the meaning of this word, paramita. The method that we have to practice in order to cross and reach our final goal. Then, the way how the Buddha, before his enlightenment or gaining his enlightenment, he was known as, what is his name? Not the Buddha. Only after gaining his enlightenment we use the word Buddha. Before that, Bodhisattva. Bodhi means wisdom or enlightenment. Sattva means person. Person who is working to gain his enlightenment is called Bodhisattva. So life after life, he went on cultivating, practicing, developing, training all these 10 perfections. Not only these 10 good qualities, there are so many other virtues and good qualities he had to develop. But these 10 perfections are very important for a person to gain his enlightenment. Still, many people cannot understand actually how this person or Bodhisattva gained his enlightenment or to become a Buddha, got that supernatural power or wisdom without any support, without any external agency, without any divine power, or without any God behind him. This is the biggest problem. We have met many other religionists who respect the Buddha, but even then they say they cannot understand how this person gained his enlightenment without depending on any God, without receiving any instructions or guidance or message from a God. Because all the other existing religions say there is a God behind, either to give a message or to give some sort of divine power or inspirations or guidance. But in the case of the Buddha, he said, there is nobody behind me to tell me, to guide me, to teach me how to gain this enlightenment. Because one day, when somebody asks this question, who is your teacher? Mother, the Buddha says, Name acharyo atti sadiso me navijjati sadeva kasming lokasming natti me patipukkalo. Here, so very clearly he said, Name achari, achari means teacher. I never had any teacher to tell me, to teach me how to gain this enlightenment or how to become a Buddha. Sadiso me navijjati. At the same time, there is no another person who gained the same enlightenment at that moment. Because only one person appeared at a time. That means this is the most difficult task in this world for a person to gain. A person can become a universal monarch or the ruler. There may be 2 or 3 at a time. But it is impossible 2 or 3 Buddhas to appear at the same time. Now we know the history. The Sakyamuni, the Buddha, or Gautama the Buddha, appeared more than 2,500 years ago. And we do not know how long we had to wait to see another Buddha, another supreme enlightened Buddha. Of course, people have created so many names of the Buddhas from time to time according to their way of thinking. Such Buddhas never appeared in this world, created by the devotees. Then, the problem is how to cultivate this mind, how to develop this mind, how to eradicate all our human weaknesses, and how to develop all the great qualities and virtues. If we can understand this, there is no difficulty for us to understand how a person can gain his enlightenment without depending on any God. Now let us refer to the Buddha again, how he has explained the method that he had to practice in order to gain this enlightenment. The follower of another religion at that time happened to meet the Buddha. He has never seen another human being like him, so serene and pleasing, very pleasant looking, and he could not believe that this person is an ordinary human being. So he came and asked, may I know whether you are one of the gods who come down from heaven? Then the Buddha says, no, I am not a god. But all the others glorify, they boast, they claim, I am the God, I am the son of God. But the Buddha says, I am not a god. Then, any other kind of supernatural living being, and the Buddha says, no, I am not a supernatural living being. Then Are you an ordinary human being? Again, the Buddha says, no, I am not an ordinary human being. Then who are you? Then the answer given by the Buddha. Abhinyayang abhinyatam bhavetabbang ca bhavitam pahatabbang pahinosmi tasma buddhosmi brahmana. The person who asked this question was a Brahmana. He said, Abhinyayang abhinyatam. If there is anything in this world for a person to understand, I understood everything. Bhavethabbang ca bhavitam. If there is any good quality or virtues for a person to practice, I have practiced all the good qualities and virtues. Bhavetabbang ca bhavitam. Pahatabbang pahinosmi. I have eradicated, uprooted all the evil thought, habits accepted by everybody. Tasma buddhosmi brahmana. Therefore, I am the Buddha. Now this is the way how he introduced himself. So here he never said, I am the son of God, I came down from heaven, I was sent by my father from heaven. No such word. So this clearly shows this is a pure human effort. Gaining enlightenment is a pure human effort. There is no divinity or divine power behind this. Because we believe that we cannot do wonderful things in this world without any support from a God. That is our weakness. Because we do not know, or we have not realized, or we do not admit what sort of qualities and the virtues and potential that we have within us. We do not know. Therefore, always we depend on somebody, some sort of supernatural power to gain something. So the Buddha is the only religious teacher in this world who rejected this belief and who has proven that human beings can reach or gain the highest achievement in this world without depending on anybody by using our superhuman effort. Then this is the method that he practiced. He did not pray to any God, asking any power, any authority, any wisdom, any salvation. He did not recite any mantras or tantras or sutras to gain his enlightenment. He did not perform any religious rites and rituals and ceremonies to please any god in this world to gain his enlightenment. He was instructed by some of those religious teachers at that time, after his renunciation, that if he really want to become a Buddha, to practice certain self-mortification, that means self-torturing, in the name of religion, to suffer, to torture, by observing certain vows. He practiced. Many years he practiced. He found out there is no effect. He knew this is not the correct method. He knew that he won't be able to gain what he wanted. He did not work to gain his own salvation. He did not work to experience his own happiness or liberations or freedom. His idea is to gain this enlightenment, to guide the whole mankind. That is why he wanted to become a Buddha. If he wanted to attain nirvana, to experience nirvanic bliss, it is not necessary for him to suffer such a long period. He would have done that long ago. So his effort, his purpose, his aim was to gain this enlightenment, because he knew human beings are in the dark. Their minds were deluded, misled, and they could not understand the truth or the nature or the reality in life, or the nature of existence or the world. And that is why he wanted to gain this enlightenment. Then the method that he practiced is introduced as paramita, perfection, to be perfect. Now we are not perfect. We are trying to be good. To be good is not enough. To do good, to be good, both are not very difficult. When we keep quiet without harming or disturbing others, then we try to be good. When we do some service to others, then we do good. That is not enough. We have to go beyond that. That is why these 10 perfections are mentioned there. Again, those bodhisattvas, there are 3 kinds of bodhisattvas. Buddha bodhisattva, Savaka bodhisattva, and Pacceka Buddha bodhisattva. 3 kinds of bodhisattvas. All are bodhisattvas. The difference is this. So, one who wants to become a Samma Sambuddha, supreme enlightened Buddha, to gain Buddhahood, must perfect these 10 perfections or 10 paramitas in 3 ways. Dana, Sila, Nekam, Panya, Viriya, Khanti, Satya, Aditana, Metta, Upekka. These are the 10 perfections. These 10 perfections, a person who is going to become a Buddha must practice in 3 ways. What are those 3? Let us take the first item, dana. Dana paramita, dana upaparamita, dana paramartha paramita. 3 ways. Meaning, dana paramita, sacrificing, giving, donating, contributing something, some sort of material things. This is called dana paramita. Anyone can do this. You are also doing this. But that is not enough. Then come to the second stage. It is called dana upaparamita. Higher than that. That means sacrifice or donate something from our physical body. That is why Buddhism always appreciates, encourage and advise the followers to donate blood, eyes, kidneys or whatever you can for the benefit of others, to relieve others' suffering, to save others' life. If you can donate something from your physical body, that dana is higher than feeding few thousand people, providing food. Because we have very strong attachment towards our physical body. We are willing to kill even thousands of others in order to save our life. We are doing this. We are going on slaughtering other living beings for our living. That means we love more towards our physical body by reducing our love and kindness towards others. So when we donate something from our physical body, either while we are living or even after our death, there are certain things that others can use. That is under the second stage, dana upaparamita, donating something from our physical body. When you study the previous birth stories of the Buddha, Jataka stories, you can understand how the Bodhisattva has done this. Blood donation he has done. We cannot understand up to what extent this medical science was advanced at that time to donate blood. There are some stories. Blood donation, eye donation, flesh, hair, skins. How he had donated for the benefit of others. Then the third one is called dana paramartha. Parama means highest. This is the highest dana, highest contribution. What is that? Contribute our whole life, not only one part. We contribute our whole life, our whole physical body for the benefit of others. This is the most difficult thing. But there are some people who can do this. And many people have done this. Now what is the real meaning of this word, sacrificing our life for the benefit of others? When others are in trouble, in difficulties, in danger, we come forward even at the risk of our life to save others, to protect others. In the process of this struggle or battle, we may lose our life. We may die because of this. That is called sacrificing our life for the benefit of others. If not, you uphold certain good qualities, principles or virtues. Under any circumstances you are not ready to surrender, to withdraw your great principles. To you, these principles are more important than this physical body. Because this physical body is temporary. We maintain for a short period. After our death, there is nothing for us to continue to carry forward from our physical body. Remember this. There is nothing for us to carry from this physical body to the next world. If there is anything that we can carry, our good qualities and the virtues and the principles and knowledge that we have developed. Take for instance, you don't like to bluff or swindle another person. You want to be an honest person. This honesty you are not going to change under any circumstance. You may die because of this principle, but you feel very happy. If you can die because of your principle, you can understand that this honesty or kindness or compassion that you maintain as your principle will support you to promote your way of life, life after life. If you surrender your principles just to protect this temporary physical body, you lose the human values in your life. Human values you cannot find in the physical body. Remember this. This is the most dirty, ugly body. No values at all. Animals and some other living beings, in them you can find some values. But human values remain in human mind, not in a human body. So if you maintain some good qualities or the virtues or the principles in our mind, so after our death, mental energies and all the good qualities we have developed remain as ingredients to mold another fortunate life. Now you can understand why understanding people regard principles are more important than this physical body. Let us take few people who have done this, who have never surrendered, never developed fear of death to change their principles. The Buddha, how many people tried to kill him, but no one could create fear in his mind to change his mind. said, Sangha me matang seyu. It is far better for me to die in the battlefield when I come to save others. Ahang nago sangami. I am just like an elephant in the battlefield where people shoot arrows from both sides. When two parties are fighting, shooting, using arrows, because no guns at that time, I get arrows from both sides, because I am in the middle. But even then I never run away. I never run away. I never withdraw. My duty is to settle this problem. They are not scared of death. Let us take Mahatma Gandhi in India, a man who upheld a great principle, non-violence, ahimsa. When Hindus and Muslims started to slaughter each other, although he was a Hindu, he wanted to be unbiased. He advised both parties not to kill each other. That is called non-violence. But one fanatical Hindu, Brahmins, could not tolerate this. So Gandhi was shot dead by this man. He knew one day he had to face this, but he never changed his principle. Now let us take another great religious teacher, Jesus Christ. He was a real religious teacher. As Buddhists, we should not condemn him. When you study his life, if you read Far Eastern Economic Reviews recently which published, there's an article. There are so many books written by various writers in the East as well as in the West. But he has come to India and Kashmir and Tibet when he was young and spent so many years and studied existing religions and philosophy and meditations and to perform certain miraculous power through jhana meditation. So many books were written by research workers. So he has gone back to his own country and started to preach. But people could not understand him. They thought he is planning to gain the power or the authority. So he had to die earlier because of his principle. Later, his disciples narrated beautiful stories. Religions are like this. Disciples create stories later. In Buddhism also there are such stories. And he did not die and gone back to heaven and this and that, all these stories. And but as Buddhists, we can respect Jesus Christ for his great sacrifice. We appreciate it. This is the way how they upheld their principles. Socrates in Greece, first time in the West, a man who tried to introduce democracy, liberate people to express their views freely. The rulers could not understand him. Because of this, he had to face untimely death. But the whole world, whole mankind remember him and respect him. Abraham Lincoln, he had to face untimely death because he wanted to do some service to unfortunate human beings in his country. Because of that, he had to die. Martin Luther King, a Christian priest, had to die because of the same principle. How many more people are there in this world who had to face untimely death because of their principle? But remember, they feel very happy because they knew that this physical body is very, very temporary combinations of elements and energies. But human values, human virtues, human qualities, knowledge and understanding, we can continue life after life. But the same physical body, we cannot continue life after life. Now you can understand why they decide to sacrifice their whole life for the benefit of others, welfare of others, to relieve others' suffering. The happiness that we gain by sacrificing our life is more important. These are the three methods, three ways. So those who are working to become a Buddha must practice all the 10 perfections in 3 ways. When you take another paramita also, we have to adapt the same attitude. That is why it is very difficult for a person to become a Buddha. Then, a person who is going to become a Paccheta Buddha, called silent Buddha, practice only 2 ways, only 2 methods. Dana and Dana Upaparamita, but not the highest one. They don't practice that. So they will become Paccheta Buddhas. Those who want to become Arahantas or saints, to attain their final salvation or nirvana, practice only 1 method. Only Dana Paramita. They are going on practicing and practicing, giving away all their belongings. Now these are the 3 methods or 3 ways for them to practice these 10 perfections. Again, there are 3 kinds of bodhisattvas. Saddhadika, Viryadika, Panyadika. 3 qualities. Those who develop more faith and confidence in order to practice these 10 perfections belong to one group. By depending on faith and confidence. But their understanding is not very deep. Second group, Viryadika, effort. They use more effort than understanding to practice these 10 paramitas, life after life. Another group use their understanding, realization, in order to practice these 10 paramitas. Now 3 groups. Now what is the difference now? Those who adopt more faith and belief and confidence to gain this enlightenment through these 10 perfections have to spend a long period in this samsara to qualify it. But those who use understanding, realization, to appreciate by knowing why these 10 perfections are important, the period that they spend to gain their enlightenment is not that long. Now here again, in Buddhism, a due place is given for enlightenment, realization and understanding, rather than faith and belief and effort. Because when we use our effort without using proper understanding, we may adopt the wrong method. When we develop our faith and belief and confidence without proper understanding, we maintain wrong belief, wrong concept, wrong ideas. But when we develop our understanding, we can avoid these weaknesses. There are 3 kinds of bodhisattvas who are working to gain their enlightenment by adopting one of these 3. Now let us come to these 10 perfections. First one is Dana, Paramita. The meaning of practicing this perfection is to eradicate our craving, attachments, selfishness. Then there are 3 ways again. We have craving, attachment towards our property, our money, our jewelries, our lands, our houses, and all our belongings. But it is not very difficult for us to reduce this craving. In time to come, we can hand over, or we can reduce our responsibilities, then reduce our craving and attachment. It is not very difficult. Then the second one is craving towards our physical body. This craving is higher than the craving that we had towards our property. It is mentioned, dhanam tajeyo pana anga hetu. To save even one leg or one hand, we are willing to sacrifice our whole property. Whatever we have, we can spend to save. If doctors say, all right, if you can spend $100,000, I can save your leg. You say, okay. It's hard-earned money. Now he is willing to sacrifice to save his leg. This shows how much we love this leg, this hand. Now your leg is very dangerous. Without amputating your leg, we cannot save your life. Then he says, okay, you can cut off my leg and save my life. I see the difference now. First we agree to spend $100,000 to save our leg. When the life is in danger, we say, okay, you can cut off my leg if you can save my life. Angang dhanang jivitang chapi sabdang chaje naro dhamma manussarantu. But understanding people are willing to sacrifice their property, their limbs, hands or legs, and their life, everything, for the sake of their dharma or principles. That is called understanding. What is dharma? Dharma means justice, peace, honesty, all the good qualities made into one word. That is called dharma. So understanding people are willing to sacrifice all those things, because all those things are temporary. But dharma is not temporary. To maintain, to uphold the dharma, understanding people agree to sacrifice everything. And now we can understand why dana is important. To reduce our craving, our selfishness, our attachment, to maintain purity in our mind. So they practice this life after life. So within one lifetime or within a short period, we cannot do all these things. When we observe the 5 precepts, we promise not to take others' belonging without their permission. That means no stealing. Stealing, bluffing. That means we do not crave for others' property. Now we are practicing this. Still we crave our own property. But we don't crave others' things. Leave them alone. Later, we will come to know. Our own property also real nuisance, real burden, no peace. Then decide to reduce, either sacrificing or donating or handing over, to have free mind, can sleep peacefully, can go anywhere without any bodyguard, because nobody wants to kidnap. How they can enjoy freedom in their life. Reduce attachments or craving towards your own property also. Reduce nearly 50% of your burdens now. Now you maintain strong craving and attachment toward the physical. You are willing to kill others also to protect your life. This one also you reduce slowly. What is the use of disturbing others, bluffing others in order to maintain this physical body? What do I gain in the end? The more I maintain this, the more I had to suffer from sicknesses, from old age, ache and pains and troubles and problems, and every day complaining this pain and that pain. What do I gain? So why should I abuse and misuse this physical body? After a few years' time, this will decay, collapse, dissolve, disappear. But life never disappears. Life never dies. We can continue this life but not this physical body. So we can make use of this physical body in order to make this life a better one, more fortunate, more peaceful, more contented life by using this physical body. So why should I abuse, misuse this, disturbing others or bluffing others? My life had to suffer because I misuse my physical body. Now then, reduce the strong attachments and craving we have developed towards the physical body. See the way how we started to reduce our craving and craving and craving and craving, and in the end, how we can experience real freedom without fear or without suspicion, without jealousy, without enmity, because mind is free. All these problems come to us because of our property and this and that. So a person who is going to become a Buddha must cultivate all these qualities. Now come to the other one. Sila. Sila means discipline. How we behave, how we talk, how we do our things, our work, how we earn. In every word, in every action, there must be some sort of discipline. That is called Sila. So, when we observe this discipline, we never disappoint, we never disturb another person, even another living being. Our way of life is peaceful, gentle, noble. There is nobody in this world, the follower of any religion, even those who have no religion, to tell that something is wrong with us. Everybody appreciates. It is discipline. Because this disciplinary code is common to whole mankind, irrespective of their religions or social status, education. If you can lead your life without disturbing another person, you had to adopt this disciplinary code. Everybody says you are a gentleman, you are very cultured, you are very noble, or you are religious, you are harmless, you are innocent, because of these good qualities. Now this is called Sila. So we had to practice. Third one, Nekam, renunciation. Again, when you read the Jataka stories, previous birth stories, you can see how the Buddha, I told you, he was not the Buddha at that time, the Bodhisattva, how he sacrificed his kingdom, his property, everything to be a free man, not to have any responsibilities, disturbances in his mind. After ruling a country as a ruler, When he come to know, now I have grey hair, that means maturity. Time has come for me to renounce, give up, hand over kingdom, either to his brothers or sons or anybody. There are how many stories there? That is called renunciation. Reduce all the responsibilities and burden. Free mind is the important thing. Now you cannot go anywhere, even at daytime also, without fear, without suspicion in your mind, because you have not done this renunciation. You have to face this. In my case, I can go any part of the world where there are no Buddhists without any fear, any disturbances, without any suspicion. Nobody wants to disturb me because of my renunciation. I have been to communist countries, Christian countries, Muslim countries. Nobody wants to disturb me. Everybody supported me, respect me. This is the way how they appreciate this renunciation and how we enjoy our freedom, confidence in our life. You cannot enjoy this life. Fear. This is more than enough for you to understand why renunciation is important. Renunciation is important to have a free mind. Without maintaining free mind, we cannot cultivate other good qualities, mental disturbances. Then the next one is panya. Panya means understanding. This understanding we cannot gain at once. We have to learn, we have to think, we have to investigate, then we get some sort of understanding. But how many people are doing this? Usually, people maintain some sort of traditional belief. They have not learned anything, never investigated anything, but maintain, accepted as truth. No understanding. This is the advice given by the Buddha, not to accept anything. We accept certain things by depending on another person. This is our weakness. That means we cannot decide. We want to depend on the person, saying, oh, so-and-so says like this, therefore we must accept. The Buddha says like this, therefore we must accept. Jesus says like this, we must accept. Our holy book says, we must accept. The Buddha says, don't accept. He said, don't say, don't think, This advice was given by the Buddha. Buddha is a great man, therefore you must accept. You depend on that person but never realize anything. Your understanding is very shallow, very artificial. Our holy book says like this. You must accept. Buddha said, throw away your holy book. Use your common sense. People can write anything in their book and introduce as holy book. See the Buddha's attitude. How he has given credit to your human mind. Not to become slaves to anybody. Paven the way for you to cultivate and think and develop your understanding. Otherwise forever you remain like this without thinking. Mind is for us to think, not to accept things at once. Don't accept anything at once. The thing you accepted today as truth at once, later, when you get more and more information, you will come to know that this is wrong. That is why the Buddha said, don't accept. At the same time, don't reject. Don't accept, don't reject. Give chance. Give chance for your mind to think, to understand. Then one day you will come to know whether this is true or not. So this is called panya. So if you want to develop this panya or understanding or wisdom, don't accept traditional belief as truth or fact. Don't try to justify. Nothing wrong with that. Don't try to justify what is written in your holy books without understanding. Don't try to accept anything saying so and so says like this, the Buddha says like this, Jesus says like this. You depend on that person but never realize. Now this is the method introduced by the Buddha. Next one, virya, effort. I always say that Buddhism is not a lazy man's religion. Just to go and pray to somebody and ask heaven and everything, that is lazy man's religion. You have to work for that. Nahi suptasya sinhasya privasanti mukhe mura. In Sanskrit, there is a saying. Animals never into the mouth of a lion if that lion always sleeps. Nahi suptasya sinhasya pravisanti mukhe mriga. If that lion is a lazy one, although lion is the king of the animals in the jungle, if he sleeps, animals never enter into his mouth. He must go out for hunting. In the same manner. Simply by praying or worshipping, without doing anything, if you try to gain everything, to go to heaven or to go to nirvana, or to prosper your business without working very hard, more time you spend for worshipping and praying without working, do you think you will prosper? Do you know a proverb? Belief in God for your protection is very good. No one can say it is bad. You can believe, no harm at all. But don't depend on God for everything. You believe in God, you pray for your protection. But don't forget to lock your door when you go out at night time. There is no guarantee that God will protect your house until you come back. Remember this. Those who depend everything on God, remember this. You have to work hard. You must be wise. That is what the Buddha says. Use your effort. Whether there is God or not, it is immaterial. You have to do your work. If you do your work, if there is a God, definitely you get His support also. This effort you have to use in three ways. Again, your mental energy, verbal energy and physical energy. All these three channels you have to divert for good purpose. To serve others as well as to serve yourself. Again, a religious teacher who always advised to serve others says, when you come to serve others, you have to serve in such a way without damaging yourself. Here I am not talking about the physical body, because earlier I have told you, when you come to serve others, even at the risk of your life, you must come forward. This gives another meaning. You can serve others by robbing, swindling, cheating, disturbing others. You can go and rob from a rich man and support a poor man or poor family. That is what the Buddha says. To serve others, you should not damage yourself. By doing that, you damage yourself first. So always find out the decent method, reasonable method when you come to serve others. So the effort you have to use, reasonable way, without abusing it. Then the purpose, the aim of that effort. You do a lot of meritorious deeds by using a lot of your effort, spending so much, thinking that you can go to heaven and enjoy your life. You develop more and more craving. By developing more and more craving, you won't be able to see the end of your worldly suffering. Again and again, rebirth, existence, old age, sicknesses, decay, death, problems arise. You may go to heaven and enjoy your life for a short period or long period. Again, existence takes place somewhere else. So that is not the final goal. So we have to use our effort, our energy, mental and verbal and physical, to reach the final goal by serving others, helping others, supporting others, by using that energy. Then we will reach there, not by praying. Next one, Khanti, Shanti. Patience. We are very impatient. We practice this patience when we were admitted into hospital, that's all. Patience only in the hospitals. At home, no patience. Patience is very important to avoid so many problems, misunderstandings, calamities, enmity. Later we will come to know. Our impatience can create so many problems, even we may lose our life also because of that attitude. Patience does not mean that we develop some sort of fear in our mind, and because of that fear we must keep quiet. That is not patience. By knowing that we can use our effort, our energy, by knowing we can topple, we can destroy, we can kill others, if we can control that without harming others, that is called patience. People misunderstood this word, patience. Of course, many of those culprits keep quiet because they cannot do anything at that moment. That is not patience. When we have all sorts of energies, either to take revenge or to attack others or disturb others, if we can control this by knowing the danger of it, that is called patience. Without harboring hatred, enmity, ill will in our mind, if we can maintain this patience, that is the highest achievement in our understanding. That is why we regard this as a great virtue. Next one is Satya, truthfulness, that is honesty. Never misuse the word either to harm others, disturb others, or to take advantage, or for our own benefit. We never use a wrong word. Inside our mind, that is called honesty. But when you use the mouth, it is called truthfulness. See how many things are there for a person to cultivate, to develop, life after life, to become a Buddha. Now we can understand why it is difficult to become a Buddha. Now how many people are there in the waiting list who are going on cultivating life after life? Next one is Aditana, determination, very strong willpower, not to change our mind. The weakness in our mind is today we decide not to do certain things by knowing that they are wrong. Next moment, next day, under certain circumstances or temptation or irritation, we change our mind. No determination, no willpower. If not, we decide to do certain things or to continue certain good work, after 1 or 2 days, due to certain disturbances or disappointment, circumstances, we change our mind. That is our weakness. So when you study the previous birth stories of the Buddha, how he continues life after life without changing his mind, in spite of various disturbances, until he reaches his final goal. So determination, aspiration, this is very important. This will in our mind, even modern psychology also explain, the will that we develop in our mind, even without depending on any religion, we can continue this. The dynamic mental energy, will means dynamic mental energy. So when we divert this dynamic mental energy towards a worthy cause, aiming at something, to do some service or to gain more peace, more contentment in our life, it's a very difficult thing, because human mind is very unstable. So we are fickle-minded, very hard to maintain. Every minute mind is going on changing like this. Our senses bring certain things into our mind and change the mental attitude. Our mind itself creates ideas, change our mind. Then others bring so many things, either to create temptation or to disturb us, change our mind. So in spite of all these things, if we can maintain that dynamic mental energy without changing it, that is called Aditana, determination. Next one is metta. Metta means goodwill. Our wish, our understanding, our sympathy that we extend towards others without harboring jealousy or without expecting anything in return. It is called metta. We develop our kindness towards others. We are kind to others. In that kindness there is hidden selfishness. Because we need something in return. Love. Always we use this word love. When we define this word from the religious point of view, it is like this. If I say, I love you, the hidden meaning of this word, I love you, means I need you. That is the meaning. If I don't want you, I never say I love you. That is not metta. Metta is entirely a different thing. That is why we introduce this as goodwill. When we extend our goodwill towards others, we don't expect anything in return from them. No selfishness there. And there is no barrier. And there is no limit. My kindness is only towards my family, my country, my race, my nation, my religious group. There is no such limit in metta. But in our kindness, there is a limit. So it is called all-embracing love and no limit. Universal love, no discrimination, goodwill. So we had to develop our sympathy, kindness, compassion, love, all these things further and further and further by reducing selfishness. Then it will become metta. Selfless love. Last one is upekha, upeksha, equanimity. This is a very difficult thing. Unbiased attitude. We are very biased. We support only our people. We ignore others, disregard others. Always we bring these issues. Our family, our relatives, our friends, our country, our nation, our race, our religion, our culture, our tradition. That word our narrow the vast meaning of this word. So one day we have to get rid of this. That word our must be removed from there. Otherwise no purity in that mind. If our cooperation, our support, our assistance, we extend only towards our religion, our race, our country, our people, there is a dark corner in that mind. So if you are going to become Buddhas, my dear friend, you have to remove that also. That word our, no more ours. Here, in brief, I have explained the nature of these 10 perfections, 10 paramitas. A person had to practice life after life until he becomes perfect human being. Then there is no difficulty of becoming a Buddha to gain that enlightenment without any divine power. So nearly 1.5 hours. Akasattha jammattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumodittva cirang rakkhantu lokasasanang ittavata ca ammehi sambhutang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya devo vassatu kalena sassa sampatti hetu ca pito bhavatu loko ca raja bhavatu dhammiko idang vo jati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya.